Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining in on the Mindfully Integrative Show. And this is Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, and we have an amazing mindful chat with Vanessa Nixon. She's a traditional naturopathic doctor, and she has a wealth of knowledge and many things to kind of share with you. And I'm so glad that you've made it on the show. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
I think it'll be awesome. And I can't wait for those that can see your beautiful tapestry in the back. I see that little elephant. And a beautiful purple. I love it. Love it. So, thanks for being on the show and, taking your time to, teach others and to guide them in your knowledge. And so what's a little fun fact people don't know about you?
Well, actually, the elephant is a great segue into that. A lot of people don't know that I've lived in a couple of different countries overseas. I've lived in Japan and India and Germany, and this is a tapestry that I got when I was living in India.
I was going to say that looks like an India one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elephants are definitely one of my favorite spirit animals. Love it. That's beautiful. Oh, I was going to say there or maybe Thailand.
Right. Yeah, I still want to make it to Thailand. I haven't been there yet.
No, I haven't either, but that's definitely a worthwhile trip soon.
Yes.
So talk to me about your journey to be a traditional naturopath and how that was and what got you there. Because that isn't, that's not like a normal path in health,
Right.
You're being a doctor,
Yes,
being a doctor, you know what I mean? It doesn't, that people don't go, oh, I'm this, what got you there? What?
It was definitely a journey. And it really began when I was probably a teenager, because I was one of those kids who grew up eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of junk foods, what I call, packaged, processed, non-food substances. And by the time I was about 14, I was catching every cold. And every time I caught a cold, it started to turn into bronchitis. And so this became a downward spiral for me in my health. And my mother was a nurse. And so she was pretty deeply entrenched in just the conventional medical model. And at the time, that was antibiotics.
That's all we knew. That's all we knew.
Right.
Coming from conventional to now integrate. That's all you know. That's all you're taught.
Right. And so I was put on antibiotics every time I got sick. And as this continued, I was getting sick, 6-8 times a year. And so after a couple of years, I was prescribed daily antibiotics, just continuously.
Oh my goodness. Daily?
Daily.
Yes. Oh my God. What that did to your microbiome. Oh my God.
Exactly. So by the time I was, this went on for years. So by the time I was in my early 20s, I was just sick all the time. It was affecting my quality of life. It was affecting, my ability to focus in school. It was affecting my work life, my, relationships. And when it changed was probably, I was maybe 22 or 23. And a friend of mine was noticing that I was taking antibiotics every day. And he asked why. So I told him the story. And he asked me a question that nobody had ever asked me before throughout this whole journey. And I had never asked myself this question. He asked, "Is it helping?" Just that one simple question made me stop. And it flipped something in my brain. It flipped the switch that was like, you know what? It's not helping. And that question, just me stopping and thinking about that question, actually opened my mind to other questions. Like, okay.
Oh,
Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.